so far to this point the embodiment of a one seed. They beat Tennessee by 150. So,
Yeah, it was like the greatest 36 hours.
and then you're out $50,
Yeah.
and you're upset with what happened.
Fun, dude. That's crazy. Like,
I know we were actually. I'm
yeah,
sure
for
a
two
lot.
for
I'm
2 minutes.
sure. I just got a feeling.
So we keep on waiting, waiting, waiting on the world to change.
I'm sure I was way behind you because of the Zoom lag, but it sounded great on my end.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. All right. Have good sporting. Edward Newbert's in the house. How about that,
Guys,
ladies and
what's
gentlemen?
up? What's up?
All right. A little Mike kiss. I like it. Always
Yep.
kissing Mike.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Final four time. Edward, talking about this at the gym. My team's out of it. Your team, unfortunately, was never in it. Well, they were
Yeah.
in it,
I
but
know we were actually. I'm
yeah,
sure
for
a
two
lot
for
of,
two minutes. For 2 minutes.
I'm sure a lot of you guys will forget, but Georgia was in this tournament and we were playing basketball in this tournament.
The
Uh,
Billikens, but the Billikens were too much to handle, unfortunately.
well, they were a powerhouse. I can't believe they're not in the Final Four.
Yeah, yeah. St. Louis feels like one of those, like the Princeton in the 1940s winning like 10 straight football national championships. St. Louis just a sleeping giant in the college basketball
Yep,
world.
absolutely. Powerhouse. They are an absolute
So
juggernaut.
really a respectable loss. But
Yeah.
we were talking about it. We'll talk about these games that get into some questions I have about just how we feel about March Madness in totality, especially this year. Um, but the first game of the evening that is going to be significantly less publicized than the nightcap. But Illinois UConn, both of us have watched these teams play. UConn obviously broke the hearts of the Dukies all around the globe. But Dan Hurley, third Final Four in his last 4 years with the Huskies, underdogs against Illinois, 1.5 point dogs. Illinois uh, is essentially a European basketball team, and they're very big. Thoughts, Ed?
Yeah. They got Djokovic. I mean, they got some serious guys up in there.
Yeah,
Um,
Stojakovic,
so
even
yeah,
two Ivasic's.
yeah. Uh,
Unreal.
they got a lot of itches over there. But I mean, this is a Illinois is high scoring. We've seen it. I mean, they just can't be stopped offensively. If they are rolling offensively, it's going to be hard to keep up with them. But UConn's already beaten them this year. I'm surprised that this game is favorited for Illinois a little bit, but Illinois is also playing really good basketball. So
Yeah,
you never know. It's just it's just going to be, can UConn keep up with Illinois? Because Illinois is putting up 80. It's just, can UConn
I
score
agree.
80?
I think what's interesting is Illinois, I'm looking at right now, they score about 84 a game this year. To UConn's 77, but they both very slow pace. It's just that Illinois hits. I don't understand how Illinois does score so much. They score 84 a game. They're 333rd in pace. They're scoring like 1.3 points per possession. It's kind of unreal.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, a little bit surprised that Illinois is favored just because UConn is UConn.
And have
Um,
beaten Illinois this year. I mean, I know it was November, but they beat them.
But both teams have gotten better. Keaton Wagler for Illinois, like a three-star kid out of high school, and now he is like a top 10 draft pick. These days, if you're a top 5, 10 draft pick, you're essentially an 18-year-old five-star. Right? That's
Yeah.
kind of just Boozer, Debansa, Flemings, and Darren Peterson, all those guys. And Keaton Wagler was like, hey, let's leave room for the three stars, which I enjoy. I like watching it. I think Illinois still has the underdog mentality coming in.
I think they did too. And I mean, I wrote an article this was before March Madness, and I'll eat my words, but I said, I mean, I guess I don't have to yet, but I said Illinois wasn't good enough defensively to win March Madness. I said they weren't good enough. And they have proved me wrong. I mean, every game I watched with them, they've been favored now in every game they've played, and I thought they were going to lose all of them. Not all of them. I thought they'd win their first one. After their first game, I thought they'd lose all of them, and they didn't. And they've been winning in dominant fashion. I mean, they are beating everyone handedly. So I have to say I'm impressed, and that I mean their defense is better than I thought. It's just I was
They're so
going
big. They're so big.
I was basing on Ken Palm here, and I mean their offense was third in college basketball, which is obviously very good, but their defense was like 30th. So in my mind, I'm like, that's just not going to cut it. You got to be a two-way team. But they've been better, and they just have looked really good. And UConn has that factor of this is UConn kind of thing
Yeah.
going for them. But Illinois overall is playing better. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, UConn beat Duke, but Siena almost beat Duke.
Yeah, and UConn was also down 19 to Duke.
Yeah.
I don't know if Illinois is. I'm interested to see Illinois with their size, how they're going to defend UConn because UConn has this very complex offense. Not necessarily slow developing, but there's a lot of things that happen in any given like half court set that they run to where even if there's 25 seconds on the clock, they might not get to the goal of the play until, the shot clock is winding down. So they're going to try to wear Illinois out. This game, the over-under is 139 and a half. It depends on how well each team is shooting it, but these teams are gonna, take their time. Illinois is very efficient offensively, like you said, but they don't necessarily like run you out of the gym. Like they're not gonna be
They're not
any
putting up
excessive
15 on you.
hustle. Well, there's gonna be hustle, but they're not gonna go faster than they need to go.
No.
Um, but 139 is a very low over under. They think it's gonna be like 70 to 70.
Yeah, see, that's my thing. Well, what's Illinois favored by? Two and a
One
half?
and a half.
Yeah, which is, I mean,
Which you
that's
can't be favored by point 0.5. So this is basically almost a pick 'em.
this is, I was gonna say that's hardly a favorite. So this is pretty much a pick 'em game, and they're predicting this game to be 69 to 71, you know? So, I mean, I don't know. That feels low to me, but we've talked about on this podcast before, I always think I know more than them because I feel like 140 is way too low, but maybe it'll be 135.
It's really going to be a good game because it's so hard to like sit here and say that I think Illinois is going to beat Dan Hurley and that UConn's going to lose in the Final Four. Like they obviously lost to Florida last year. Florida goes on to win it all, but in the last 4 years so far, they're what is that? 12 and 0, 13 and 1, like 16 and 1 in the tournament or 16 and 2 or whatever, or 17 and 1. Um, it's like if UConn gets this far, you might as well just pencil them in to win it all. But Illinois has been so impressive.
Yeah. Illinois, I mean, they've just like, I know we've been watching them pretty harshly because they played VCU, a team that we picked to go pretty deep, and
Yeah.
we even took VCU to win that game. And I mean, there were glimpses where VCU kind of got back into the game, but Illinois was in control the whole time, and they just look like so much better than everyone they've played so far. UConn's a tough matchup, and it's going to be their toughest one so far for sure. But I don't think that this is definitely not a gimme game for Illinois or
If
UConn.
UConn's playing their best ball, then I wouldn't be scared to pick UConn, especially with a little extra cash with them being underdogs. But Illinois hasn't looked bad pretty much this whole tournament. Like, and I will say, by the way, in regards to that over under, they beat Houston 65 to 55, and then Iowa 71 to 59. So they're winning by 10, and they're not necessarily having to do it by scoring too many points because their defense is playing so well. But also Houston and Iowa don't play very quickly. Um,
Houston is one of the slowest teams
Oh
ever.
my God, dude. I'm a Houston hater because of that. And I
Yeah,
said it going in. I started saying it in February. If you at any point get like a 5 point lead on Houston, you're gonna win. They're not coming back from five. They're not like they play such an antiquated style of offense. And it's actually frustrating to me because there's five players on the court that are really good and they're really good on defense. Flemings is like a top 5 or 7 draft pick, and the offense is like painful to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's like watching a golfer set up to the ball for like 3 minutes before hitting it.
It's a
Like
good take. It's a good
it's,
take.
it's just like annoying, slow. And yeah, I mean, it was Houston was never good enough offensively to catch up to Illinois, which is I think why Illinois ended up pulling away with that game. I mean, a 10-point win is, in my opinion, that's a dominant win. I mean, you beat
Yeah,
them pretty.
especially against Houston. Then you beat Iowa by 12. A little bit of a Cinderella there. Probably not a game where you're like, wow, good job, Illinois. But nonetheless, it's a win in the Elite Eight. And then if you're UConn, you have to go play an Illinois team that hasn't really made many mistakes in this tournament versus you, who was down 19. Like you had them like that is game of the year. It's one of the best games ever, that UConn Duke game. Um, but that doesn't really matter coming into the Final Four because I'm looking at it and I'm saying, Duke made a lot of mistakes that Illinois is probably not going to make, and you
Yep.
were down nine. Like I can't shake the fact that you were down 19 at one point.
Yeah, I was not a big believer on UConn coming into the tournament. But there's always something special that goes on in UConn in March. And I mean, the issue is, did they use all of that UConn magic just to get past Duke and now to
Yeah.
run into a hot Illinois squad that I still do I think Illinois is going to put up 80, and it's just going to be, can you somehow keep up with that?
Yeah. I think what is in UConn's favor is that, that game happened in the Elite Eight, so you have like a week or like almost a full week until the Final Four. If it was like a Sweet 16 game and you're playing in the Elite Eight 2 days later, then it's probably a situation where it's like we just used everything we had, and now we got to go play again in 2 days. But they have a week. And then I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Do you
I
like
mean,
anything in this game?
just I wouldn't really want to be betting my money on the game, but personally, I do think Illinois will win, and I think Illinois will be in the championship to play whoever the winner is of that nightcap game, which is going to be a crazy game.
All right, well, let's get into it. The nightcap. You think winner of this one wins it all?
We'll have to see how that Illinois versus UConn game goes. If Illinois wins by 15 to 20 points, maybe
Oh,
not.
all right. Michigan, Arizona. Michigan, 1.5 point favorite. Again, essentially a negligible difference between these teams. Um, Over under 157 and a half. I think
That's
this
a
game's up there in the 80s. No
Yeah,
one has really stopped either of these offenses, dare I say, all year.
yeah. I mean, who do you like in this one? I mean, Arizona looks
They
like
are like
ever.
Arizona's a bit younger,
Yep,
but like
just as talented though.
I mean more talented.
Probably
To
more
me, like
talented.
Lendeborg from Michigan is like he might be like a 6 year guy. Um, and it's not like wow, this guy's so athletic, has every move, every tool in the toolbox. But he's 6 years into college basketball. He's a really good basketball player. Whereas like,
Right,
you know, Burries and like Koa Pete on Arizona might maybe a little bit raw, but like first round NBA draft picks with all the talent in the world. And they're also really good in
right.
their own right. So I think you just kind of pick whatever like do you like an Arizona team that is like like super impressive, or a Michigan team that's just rock solid? I don't know.
I just like Arizona because I think they're playing really good basketball. This is not to discredit Michigan, and it would not surprise me at all if Michigan were to go on and win this game. I just think Arizona has looked rock steady throughout this tournament. I mean, they have been, in my opinion, throughout so far to this point, the embodiment of a one seed. Just every game they're just playing and winning because they're better than you, and that's just how it's gone. Not to say that Michigan necessarily hasn't done that. They beat Tennessee by 150. So, I mean, I don't know. My gut's telling me Arizona, but this is another like pick'em game. It's another one
Yeah.
and a half point favorite.
Also, the whole like guard play is you need it in March. Not that we've necessarily bucked that trend, but I think comparatively to recent years, it hasn't mattered as much because like Arizona, out of the teams in the Final Four, is probably has the best guards outside of like Keaton Wagler for Illinois. But Michigan is like Lendeborg and Morez Johnson and the Mara, Ade Mara. It's like those three bigs are like that's the core of their team.
Yeah.
Florida was that way before they got bounced. UConn against Duke gave the ball to Terrace Reed in the post 90 times. And then Illinois has all the big boys that are all European.
Yeah, I mean it's
So
true.
it's like if Arizona, if you know, Jaden Bradley, Braden Burries, a little bit of Del Orso action. If they're cooking, if the guard plays cooking, um, maybe they don't, and they're able to not have to deal with the Michigan bigs, then I think I like Arizona.
Well, I think this game maybe could be the tell for you. Is guard play still as important as
That's
we think
true.
it is?
Now,
Because
Michigan, Elliot Cadeau comes over from UNC. I've never been entirely impressed with Cadeau. He's playing his best ball at Michigan.
right,
Um,
but that's because he's
and then
surrounded with players.
yeah, they're kind of guard play by committee. Like it's not necessarily two or three like studs. Like they'll go 4 or 5 deep with the guards, and all
Right,
of them contribute. But yeah, I mean, in regards to guard play, I like Arizona.
for
But
sure.
it's probably the Michigan Bigs probably have a slight edge over Arizona.
Yeah,
So
this is
which one of those groups matters more?
and that's the question. I think it's going to be that game is going to be so good. I think that game.
That's the one everyone's waiting for.
I think the Illinois game does have a chance to not be the best game ever. It might be. It could be great, but this Michigan Arizona game, I can't see it being a bad game. Like there's not any universe where I see this game being like a blowout one way or another.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna interrupt for a second. I don't know necessarily know if I should say this on the podcast, but the guy from my Graham from my internship, I asked him to get paid for my work today, and he just responded and said, "Do you need all payment or just for certain games? All preferably."
Um, yeah, what do you I would
Well,
like
no, just two of the six is good.
yeah, the other ones are I'm free. That's
Yeah.
free of charge.
I mean, I just would, dude. I love those guys over there so much. The guys and gals over there. I just wish they paid me a little sooner than they do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's annoying.
Um, okay, let's get into what we were talking about at the gym. Obviously we're pumped for the Final Four. I'll be out of town, but I'll be watching. Um, and I'm not gonna necessarily ask this question yet. Nice belt, dude.
Thanks, man.
But
Send me
the actually I will ask a question. Because we obviously went up to the lake for the first 2 days of March Madness, or for the first like day and a half, and it was like the greatest 36 hours. Like we were like
yeah,
we were all on board with the first 2 days of March Madness. And obviously Georgia and Florida both get bounced early. Um
well, Florida made it through that weekend, at least.
this is
Well,
true,
not that weekend. They made it through that
but
round.
it begs the question like at what point like to March Madness to me is the first 2 days of the tournament. And after that is you got 16 teams left by the time you get to the second week. Um, and then you're crowning a champion. And it's like good basketball. It's great basketball. I love it and I'll watch it. But like you have 16 games on the first day. And then by the time you get to that second weekend, you have 16 games or like really you have 15 games left entirely.
Yeah.
So it's not the product doesn't get worse. Like if anything, the basketball gets better. But what you look forward to for all those months is the first 2 days.
I'll even give you the first 4 days because Saturday and
Yeah,
Sunday is about
that's
30.
true because you do get four in a row. Um,
But yeah, that is March Madness. That's why it's called that. It's
it
called that
is the
because of those
madness.
4 days.
and maybe I'm a little bit tainted because Florida won it all last year, and now I'm kind of bummed that I'm not watching them anymore, so I'm not as glued to it as I would be if Florida was in it. Um, and it's a little bit of, it's all top seeds. We had, Texas and Iowa and High Point there until the second round. But it's not, I think the days are done of, a mid-major. You have this little bit of Cinderellas, but like Texas, even though they're an 11 seed, I don't know if you can consider that a Cinderella because that's an SEC team and they have like the most money. Um, and it's maybe it's a little upsetting that I think the days of the mid-major Cinderella are over.
I don't know, man. I think we're only thinking that because we haven't seen one in a second. What about NC State like 2 years ago?
That's true. It's an ACC team, but it falls under Cinderella. But
You're
like,
looking for like a Loyola Chicago.
yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. I was gonna say Wichita State, but they were like a one seed. But like the Butlers, um, no, okay, well they were really good too. Um, oh here you go, the Florida Atlantics in like 2022, they made the Final Four. Okay, that year, the year FAU made the Final Four, it was. San Diego State was like a 5 seed. FAU was like a 9. And then there was another 5 and a 3. No ones or twos.
Yeah, that was
And
I
I can't wait for Michigan Arizona. It's gonna be elite basketball. But the 9 seed, the five and the 3 is fun, dude. That's crazy.
that is crazy. And I mean, the difference being in that though, I think one seeds just continue. I mean, they just continue to get better. I mean, the one seeds this year were, just like last year, where like you got people saying like, and I would see posts on Instagram like these are the four best one seeds of all time. And last year they were saying the same thing, where it was like these one seeds are the best Ken Palm rated teams ever.
Yeah.
And I think they're just going to keep getting better and better and better. And that's just how it's going to be. But I don't really think that means that those smaller teams are done. I mean, yeah, it was only one game, but VCU, they beat at UNC, a team they probably never should have beaten. They got stopped by Illinois, but all it takes is like say that wasn't Illinois and that was another squad who had already come in with a couple injuries and struggling. VCU beats Illinois. They're in the Sweet 16. I mean, you just don't know past that because then you've got
Yep.
momentum. Then it's not even about your because Loyola Chicago was not obviously the best team in that bracket, but they were playing with so much fire and like
Yeah.
every game was like a heat check.
Or like a
So it just
St.
takes that.
Peter's.
Yeah, or St. Peter's. It just it's just like the every game was like a heat check. Like, can
Yeah.
we actually beat this team? And then they could, and then they won. And you just don't I don't think that era is done, but I do think that one seeds will continue to get better because
Yeah.
people just like these kids are so athletic and they're so much better and they're going to these big schools and it's really impressive.
NIL doesn't help the Cinderella cause.
No,
Because
it
if you're
doesn't.
really good, you'll go get paid to go somewhere a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So what do you have as your national championship matchup here?
I have Arizona versus Illinois would be mine. But
I think I'm gonna go Arizona UConn.
I think the most fun one would be Michigan versus UConn, but I don't think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, yeah. Well, interestingly enough, if it was Michigan, Illinois, I don't think a lot of people are guessing that that's what it'll be. But if it was Michigan, Illinois, that would just be the two favorites winning,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
strange because I actually have I think Arizona's gonna win and they're underdogs. Illinois, UConn, I don't know. I don't know.
That one could go
I
either
don't
way.
know.
I mean, I guess we can't really say like I don't feel like Michigan is like worse than Arizona. I just got a feeling in here. I
Got a
really
feeling
do.
here.
I
But
really do.
fumbles are behind them.
I really do. I feel good about Arizona. I mean that I feel pretty confident in an Arizona money line bet that I will probably be making on that game.
But it's so I'm like so eerily confident about it that it's like I have to be missing something with Michigan that everyone else sees.
But it's a pick 'em. Like it's
It
one and a
is. This is true. 1.5 because you can't have a .5 spread because then
yeah,
that team's not a favorite. That's either a tie, which you can't have, or a 1 point victory.
right. If it was literally 1 point lower towards Arizona, it would just be a pick 'em bet, and the
Yeah.
odds would be the same either way.
I'm surprised they're not just doing that because the okay, so if you bet Michigan to cover, it's minus 105. If you bet the money line, it's minus 125,
Yeah, I mean
which is
that's how they get you too, because then
oh,
Arizona.
this is even better. If you bet Illinois to cover 1.5, it's minus 120. If you bet them to win, minus 130.
Wait, what?
Yeah. If you bet them to cover minus 1.5, minus 120. If you bet them to just win, minus 130.
It's like so stupid. Like,
Just
okay,
I just make it a pick 'em.
that's unbelievable. Whatever. I mean, but the thing is, the scary thing about it is like then what if they bang a deep three and win by one, and then you're out $50
Yeah.
and you're upset with what happened?
I think you just go money line. You don't touch the spread because then it does get weird. Because like, there's probably I mean, it's slim, but there's a fair chance one of these games is decided by 1 point. I mean, I think both might be decided by one possession, but I also think one of them might be decided by 1 point, and it
Yeah.
could be a 1 point win for the favorite, and then it ruins everyone's.
Everyone's day is ruined except mine,
Unless you bet the underdog to cover, but the favorite to win.
which would be an outrageous parlay.
Yeah,
Those odds are so nuts.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy.
All right, you got anything? I have to pee.
Nope, I'm good. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all.
All right, I appreciate you, Ed, for joining me. We potted for a while, two
Yeah,
separate episodes, but we got some time in.
yeah, probably what, an hour ish, hour 10,
I mean, yeah. When did I say I was getting on?
2:20. Probably took me about 5 minutes to hop on.
Where are you here? Yeah, yeah. I sent you the thing at 1:15, so an hour 15. It's pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of potting.
Yep. All right. Well, Jack here, Ed there. We appreciate you guys watching. If you're here, um. If you're watching this, probably putting this out tomorrow, next week, whole new style of video coming out. Um, I'm looking forward to it. I think you guys are going to enjoy it.
It's very good.
It's very good.
We got a
Me and
couple
Ed
of
are
them.
working on it together. Well, not together. We're both making these type of videos, but we're just he's doing one, I'm doing one. And I think we're going to keep doing them. Feel good about it.
Yeah, we'll see how they perform, but I mean, they're good videos. You'll see.
Yeah. Send me that script if you get a chance. Not because I care, but I actually, well, I want to read it because I like these scripts. They're fun to read.
Gives you goosebumps. I'll send it to you right now.
All right. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Love you. Goodbye.